Right.
Hide it there. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the December 11th meeting of the Long Hill Township Committee. And we are starting the meeting at 6:30. Please, everyone, rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Megan, please kindly read the statement of presiding officer.
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act of New Jersey, adequate notice of this meeting, specifically the time, date, and public call-in information, were included in the meeting that was electronically sent to the Echo-Set and All Morris Daily Record and posted on the Township website. The agenda and public handouts for this meeting can be viewed online at www.longhillnj.gov. A public comment period will be held and the order is listed on the meeting agenda.
Thank you, Megan, and could you now kindly take roll call?
Committeeman Dorsey?
Here.
Committeewoman Riker Eline is going to be a little bit late today. Committeeman Verleza is going to be late as well. Deputy Mayor Lavender?
Here.
Mayor Paserchia?
Present. And if, for those following at home, item number 3, proclamations, presentations. We have with us the Chair of the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee, Mr. Hunt, Fred Hunt, who does remarkable work along with his committee. So I think we turn the floor over to you.
Okay, thank you. You should have in front of you a picture or the copy of the 2024 Historic Site Survey. You don't
Yes,
have
sir.
to read. You don't
We
have to
do.
read it. But I know it's there. Okay. I am from the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee, and from now on, I'll just call it HPAC. Save some time. One of our, in fact, the number one responsibility we have in our ordinance is to prepare a survey of historic sites. And what we have here is, and we've been doing this, and what we have here is this year's update. And so we're officially presenting it to you, although you do have copies already. And I want to thank Sam Cornish, the township historian, who did a lot of the work on this. And the first thing is, what changed from last year? Well, we didn't have any additions, we didn't have any deletions, but what we did have is when we updated, we go through all the sites and we make some corrections or updates to the descriptions of the various historic sites. Now, the historic sites, you think of them mostly as houses, but all the schools, the churches, Turtle Rock Park, they're all, the cemetery in Sterling, they're all historic sites. One of the things, just an example of what we updated was 438 Long Hill Road. That's the old Hickory Tavern. If you recall, last year it was demolished. But before it was demolished, we had an historic preservation architect come and examine it because we knew it was a very old building. We figured it was probably built in the early 1700s, but the architect went over it and determined that, number one, it was an example of an East Jersey cottage. Well, it's the old East Jersey, and it's a cottage. But an East Jersey cottage had certain characteristics about it. That's how they could tell what it was. And East Jersey cottages, they said, date back to around, that style started around 1730. We had always guessed that that was close to the date that Hickory Tavern was built. But what the architect did also prove to us by looking at it, the layout, but mostly the materials used to construct it. There were a lot of hand-hewn beams, wide plank floors, that the house was definitely built in the 1700s. And that is all now incorporated in the site survey, even though that building is now in the last section, which is the houses that were torn down. The surveys, this survey is it's not a new thing. It's been around a long time. It has multiple sources. Some of it came from Gwen Thomas's book, that was written back in the 60s, the history of Passaic Township. But a lot of it is just plain old research done by the Historical Society, and HPAC also does a lot of research, and that all goes into this. It is a public document. It's on the website. Anybody can see it. And one of the other things is, that I want to bring up is, if a house, particularly we talk about the houses, that's what everybody thinks about. If a house is on the website, or in the survey, it imposes no obligation or restrictions on the owners. They can do whatever they want to those houses, including tearing them down. The other question that came up the other day was, do we notify the owners whose homes are on the list? And the answer is, we really have no idea who owns the homes generally. We don't cross-reference the list with the tax records or real estate transfers or anything. What we care about is the building. You know, owners change, the buildings stay. And I think that most of the owners of these historic houses pretty much know what they have and probably figure they're on the list. HPAC also has an historic plaque program that people can sign, you know, they can fill out a form, see if their house qualifies, and if it does, we'll give them a nice, attractive plaque to put on their houses.
So Fred, thank you. I mean, thank you to the HPAC members, as you
Yeah.
fondly call them, to the Historical Society. And you touched upon something that's always a question that comes up when this survey is discussed in public or on the website. This is not the historic registry at either the state or the federal
No.
level where
This-
this could come with some restrictions. This is just a
This
kind
is-
of a cool thing.
This is local. But, you know, there's a lot of history in this town, and a lot of historic buildings in this town, and it's something we need to know, and people want to know, and we do that. Yeah, and there is sometimes resistance to even our local plaques because they think that having that on the house will give them some kind of restriction, and it's not the case. So,
Yeah, the few I know just embrace it, and they think it's
yeah,
cool.
we think it's cool, so, okay, thank you.
Hey, Fred, I got a quick question for you.
Sure.
I'm just interested, that 438 Long Hill Road, when you had the architect come in, did they find any interesting artifacts?
Not many. We did save one, which is sitting in my garage right now for want of anything better. It was about a 200-pound mantelpiece that's all hand-hewn.
Granite?
So,
Or
yeah. No,
stone?
it's not granite, it's wood,
Wood?
yeah.
That's the other question I was going to have. What were the beams made out of? I would imagine back then they would have been making these houses with locally sourced beams.
Yeah, and the house was built before a sawmill was in town.
Right.
It's all,
Any chestnut in there before that went?
all I remember is looking in the attic myself and finding that some of the rafters from the attic still had bark on them,
Right.
okay? And the support beams to the house were all rather large hand-hewn timbers,
Interesting.
so,
All right, just
Okay.
curious.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for presenting. So, and actually, Jack, we have to pass a resolution, 24-290, the 2024.
Yes, just accepting the survey.
Fair enough. So if I can have a motion from
So moved.
Second.
Committeeman Dorsey?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lavender?
Yes.
Mayor Paserchia?
Yes. And so item number 4 on the consent agenda, I know I have to recuse myself from 24-292. I don't know if anybody else has
I
to.
have to abstain from 292 as well.
292, okay, so Matt, that means,
That means I must as well.
all right. And just one item,
No.
and Fred's still here?
I don't need to. All right.
I-
I'm in. I don't need to abstain according to Megan.
Yeah, plus I think because of the doctrine of necessity, we need both your votes, so. I think you can both vote.
Okay.
All three
Under the
then?
doctrine of necessity, yeah, I think all three.
Okay. So nobody has to abstain from that.
Right.
Fine, and just one clarification or addition, 24-300, since Chairperson Fred Hunt is in the room, we're going to take the recommendation of the HPAC committee, and we're going to add Meredith Crawford Collins to the HPAC to fill an unexpired term. Meredith, thank you for stepping up. Meredith volunteers for other groups in town, and she's very interested in historical aspects in Long Hill Township. So that amending appointments to boards and committees, it's just that one, Megan?
Yeah, we need to pull 307 until we have 4 people here, because that requires 4 affirmative votes.
Okay. So then here we go, I'll take a shot at it. Can I have a motion to approve 24-291 through 24-310? We're going to pull 307. On advice of counsel, both Matt Dorsey and Guy Pacercia can vote on 24-292.
Yes.
So I'm looking for a motion.
So moved.
Wait, do we take off 307?
Yeah, we're going to
Oh,
pull
okay.
307
That's fine.
until we have 4
Second.
members here.
All right, second.
Deputy Mayor
yeah.
Lavender.
Yes.
Made the motion.
I seconded it.
Yep.
Committeeman Dorsey.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lavender.
Yes.
Mayor Pacercia.
Yes. And so we're going to go to item number 5, liaison reports. Matt, first?
Firefighter Santa's going around on Saturday, I believe, for both departments. So if you hear or see fire trucks and a lot of sirens, do not be alarmed, no pun intended. The Bernards Township Board of Health is up to a lot of things. You can check out their website at bernardshealth.org for all the announcements and things that are going on. Thank you.
Yes, Scott.
Okay, on behalf of Aubrey, I'm going to do the library update. Slide number 1, please.
It's coming, I promise.
Okay, here we go. The Long Hill Township Library is open 7 days a week, including 10 to 2 on Saturdays and 1 to 5 on Sundays. The digital collection the library has includes ebooks, e-audiobooks, movies, TV, comics, and much more. And this content's available 24/7 through several apps that you can get on your electronic device, available through the App Store. Apps like Libby, Hoopla, and Canopy. And all this content is available to download and access for free. Slide 2, please. So please find here the library's weekly schedules of programs and events. Most activities like story time for kids and movies for adults do not require registration. Slide 3. Author talks. So these talks do require registration, and they're available under Author Talks on our website. Sign up, get the link, and watch whatever works for you. We've got a lot of big offers, including Laura Dave, who spoke today. And you can watch all past talks from our website as well. Slide 4. Sunday, December 15th, a local resident and professional pianist, Jong-Sun Lee, will perform a free concert at the library. Please stop by and enjoy. And the following Saturday, December 21st, Santa Claus will stop by the library and take over our story time. So there'll be lots of other holiday crafts and events going on during that. Please check our weekly events page for additional information. Also, and thank you to Starbucks, who has provided us with free coffee and hot chocolate multiple times this month. And lastly, Santa is visiting our local Starbucks this Sunday, December 15th, from 10 to 12 p.m., 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. You have the opportunity to take a photo and considering donating to Starbucks Toys for Tots Drive. Slide 5. The Long Hill Library hosts 2 off-site silent book clubs at local businesses. Bring your own book and read in contented silence with other Long Hill Township readers. That sounds interesting. Slide 6. If you're into Taylor Swift, join us all for karaoke, crafts, and games, all celebrating Taylor Swift's birthday this week. You can show up. Mayor Pacercia will be singing Happy Birthday to Taylor Swift, as well as 5 of her top 10 hits. Slide 7. We have a free line dancing class at the library. In December, they often dance to Christmas carols, believe it or not. Lots of fun to dance to or just to listen to. Mahjong on Fridays as well. We also have a Mahjong instruction class on Tuesdays if you don't know how to play Mahjong. I don't. I'd like to learn. Call if interested. Slide 8, Long Hill Township Cares. The Long Hill Township Library is a donation spot for 12 Baskets Food Pantry and for St. Hubert's this month, December. And Brownie Troop 98378 is collecting food and toys for dogs and cats at St. Hubert's, and we're thrilled to help them meet their goals. And that's all I have for the library. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. And on behalf of Vic, I will do the rec update. So, Megan, I know you have slides. Oh, there we go. So this is another great photo from Myersville, with a focus on Myersville. Resident Ed Zindel, for those who don't remember, Ed won the statewide photo contest run by the New Jersey League of Municipalities last year. And I'm sure this photo will be submitted as well. And since they are judged anonymously, it's entirely possible that our very own Ed Zindel could win a second year in a row. Last week, the Cantor Park playground area was cleared to make way for our new playground, which is a woodland gnome theme. Construction on the new playground will begin at the end of this week, continue into next week. Watch the website for updates. Our fall yoga program is continuing Monday and Wednesday mornings at the Millington Schoolhouse and continues to fill capacity, so get your names in. Slides 2 to 5, I think Megan beat me to it. Parks and Recreation is having a lot of fun with the holidays and our contests. Let's go to slide 2. First, tonight's the last day to get your letter to Santa. In order to ensure that we can get the letters to the North Pole in time for Santa's elves to respond and load that sleigh properly. So far, our department has assisted with 60 letters to Santa, still going. A lot of good little children in Long Hill. Not so sure about the adults. Slide 3. Don't forget to enter our holiday cooking decorating contest. All entries need to be photographed and submitted by December 17th. We will announce the winners December 20th. Slides 4 and 5. Megan, you are so fast than me. We just published our 5th annual House Business Decorating Contest driving list. The driving list lists the entries in order so that families can pack the car and go see the entries themselves. We are proud to work with the Long Hill Chamber of Commerce on this event. Starbucks, there you go again, of Gillette is offering a free cup of coffee to those on the Holiday Lights Tour, and Oak Flower Brewery is offering hot cocoa, $1 a cup. So we have both ends of Long Hill covered to keep everybody warm while on tour, which will continue until New Year's Day. New this year, don't forget to put your vote in for your family's favorite entry. Judging takes place December 10th, which was yesterday, through December 16th. The Long Hill Prize Patrol will roll out with Santa on December 18th, weather permitting, unless, of course, Rudolph is with us. Then nothing stops us to meet with our award winners. This is always a fun evening. Long Hill TV joins us to film it all. Ho, ho, ho. And you know what? Kind of like worldwide wrestling, I'm going to tap in Vic now for slide 6.
If I can see it.
There you go.
Thank you. All right.
One, second page, slide 6. If you have trouble, you can end it back.
Things are still looking up. Don't forget to submit your photo in our photography contest. A look to the sky. Entry is free, and the deadline is January 15th. There is still time to register and play adult basketball with your neighbors. Central School Thursday nights from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Registration is on Community Pass, and the program continues until May 1st. Start the new year off by getting certified in first aid, CPR, and AED training. Classes are offered through a partnership between Long Hill Parks and Recreation and the Long Hill First Aid Squad. Each Red Cross class participants will earn a certificate good for 2 years. Get this valuable training. They say 80% of what you learned will be used to help someone you know and love. Let's face it, that's who we spend the most of our time with. Gotta deliver that well. I usually read it before I do this, but. Yeah. All right, slide 9. Oscar the Grouch still sends a reminder to keep that trash in its place. He hasn't had as much to be as grouchy, but there's still room for improvement. So he wants us to keep this reminder out there. Many thank yous go out to Charlotte McGuire of Gillette, who continues to come every week, gloves up, and cleans the turf field. Without fail, she has put her heart into this task that not many want to do. Thank you so much, Charlotte. Moving on to slide number 10. We are always looking for more volunteers on our Recreation Committee. This is a very busy committee, and we really need our volunteers who help us with programming and events. Interested? Contact the Parks and Recreation Department and complete the citizen involvement form. And we think you'll find this a rewarding experience. We love bringing the smiles. All right. Finally, just a reminder from Rebel the Elf to remember to be your best behavior because you know who is watching. Happy holidays, everyone. It is truly a magical time of year. Thank you. And that concludes the recreation update.
Vic, thank you so much.
All right, my pleasure.
I have to circle back because I got messages of other things that weren't announced. If you go on the website, the town website, on the community services link, you can log on tomorrow, Thursday at 7 o'clock to watch the documentary Like. It gives a backdoor look at the social media and helps manage stress and anxiety. Following the presentation, there'll be a live panel discussion, which is a question and answer session. It's sponsored by the Watchung Hills Municipal Alliance, which does a lot for the kids of the high school and helps plan project graduation. And this is a new one on January 12th. From 8 to 12, it's a Saturday, I believe. Sterling Fire Company is running a pancake breakfast fundraiser. So you can pay at the door 8 to 12 on January 12th. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Matt, I appreciate it. And let's circle back to agenda item number 4. Jack, thanks for reminding us. Now that Vic is here, we need 4 votes. 24-307, authorizing the transfer of funds. If there are any questions, and if not, looking for a motion.
Second.
Committeeman Dorsey?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lavender?
Yes.
Mayor Pasurcia?
Yes. And Randy, let's go to you for the administrator's report.
Hey, we have a report from Public Works for November 2024. They continue doing tree removal and pruning on a monthly basis. They had 3 days of styrofoam processing. Removed all the flowers and flower pots from Main Avenue and Town Hall. Decorated Main Avenue, Valley Road, and Town Hall for the holidays. 280 cubic yards of leaves transferred to the county for recycling. Township owned properties had the final leaf cleanup. 4 tons of blacktop was used to do for pothole repairs during the month. And as was mentioned in the recreation, the Public Works removed the old playground set at Canton Park and in preparation for a new install. And they continuously, especially around this time, check the stormwater inlets and remove the leaves and debris from all those inlets for days like tonight. Monthly report from the police departments. During the month of October, they had calls for service at 1,990 calls for the year, making it a total of 20,615 calls. They had 24 accidents during the month of October, two with injuries. For the year of 2024, they have invested 400 hours of training to various officers throughout the police department. They also received a grant for $22,000 for new body-worn cameras. Congratulations to the department for getting that. They had a program, Coffee with a Cop, at the local Starbucks. They also participated in the Halloween parade and the trunk or treat. During the consent agenda, we hired 3 new police officer recruits. Proud to welcome them aboard. They will be starting the Morris County Police Academy in January, and we hired 1 officer that will be taking partial classes at the, she's a corrections officer, so they need additional training at the police academy, and that will start also in January, providing everybody meets the requirements. I know several have already. That's all I have there. I just want to wish everybody happy holidays.
Thank you, Randy. No discussion items tonight. Old and new business from the committee?
Yes, on behalf of myself and the Veleza family, we would like to thank everybody who showed up to my father's services, everybody who reached out, and everybody who said a prayer for us. We are humbly grateful, and it's definitely helped us get through this difficult time. So thank you to everyone. We really are truly grateful.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Any others? Just a couple of announcements. I don't think, Megan, I don't have any from you, so I'll just ad-lib a couple. So St. Vincent de Paul has a blood drive on December 27th, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. to be clear. That is Friday, December 27th. You go on the website for St. Vincent de Paul and sign up. They prefer appointments, but walk-ins are welcome. As always, especially around the holidays, blood is in short supply. So if you can and are willing, please, Friday, December 7th, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. Earlier today, I did attend a briefing from mayors regarding the drones that everybody has been seeing. I would say, unfortunately, it wasn't anything more specific than I think some people have been able to read online. The investigation is in the hands of the federal government, the FBI, in coordination with the Department of Homeland Security at the federal level and the state level, and with the state police, I believe, and I see Public Safety Director Mike Peoples and Officer in Charge Alexis Chambrello. I was told by the governor's office there may be a meeting with chiefs of police tomorrow. If you haven't been notified, please let me know and I will reach out to them, but I think you have been? Okay. So hopefully, as time goes on, we will have more details. I do not have anything more specific than that to share. It was emphasized that there is no known public safety concerns at this time. So I apologize, I cannot be more specific, but that's essentially what was presented earlier today. And that's it. So at this point, I'd like to open up the meeting to the public. If you could, please limit your remarks to 3 minutes, or statements for that matter. And the floor is yours, the public.
Charles Arenowitz, Millington. For the first time in a long time, I'm going to test you tonight with a question, if you can answer it. Sunday night, in our neighborhood, there was a drone spotted on Deer Run the size of a car. I've read that Mayor Pacheco and Commissioner Dorsey has supported with the other mayors a recommendation to take action. Your responsibilities are to protect us. We've had Congressman Kane here. We've had Representative Bromnick from the state. We've had the Morris County Chiefs Association President Korski. We've had the state police Chiefs Association Rizzo here. We supposedly and allegedly have a relationship with the county prosecutor's officer, Mr. Carroll, allegedly, I say. Some of the people on this committee have attended the State of the Union address. So my question tonight for each of you, as well as, if I could, ask our officer in charge and our director of public safety to comment on what you personally, and if Mr. Dorsey and Mr. Purcell want to comment, I'd like to know, and the public would like to know, what you have done personally to try to protect us for the last month and a half with these drones. Who have you called? What do you know? And what are your next steps? This is a test for all of you tonight. So let's start with Deputy Mayor Lavender.
I've been in conversations with the mayor, who is interfacing with the appropriate authorities, and
Many
I
of
really,
which you just
right,
referenced.
many that you just referenced. And so our communication, as far as I'm concerned, is going through Guy.
Mr. Dorsey, do you want to add anything?
No, Guy was at the call or something this morning, which is the most up-to-date information that everybody has, aside from the federales. So I have nothing to add.
Mr. Verleza.
Yeah, I reached out to Senator Bramnick, who has really nothing much more to add than he said today on, or yesterday on Fox News. One thing he said, if it is Martians, they're not going to land in New Jersey. The taxes are too high. So
There you go. That's good.
I'm trying to make a joke of it, but it is a serious matter. But I really don't know, as a member of the township committee, other than depending on state and federal aid, I don't think there's really much help. I don't think there's really much we could do as a committee.
Okay. Could we ask the officer in charge and the director of public safety to comment, please?
Good evening. So, as noted, there is a meeting tomorrow morning, where they're supposed to provide information from the state and federal level, more than what we've gotten so far, which is just that there's no threat. We haven't really received much information, but the only thing that we can do right now is to push out the information on how you can report it. They've requested, that residents provide video and information on their sighting through a QR code.
To the non-emergency number at the police department, right? You don't want to type 911.
There's a
I think.
reporting process internally. It's just been a progression. Initially, we were taking the calls, and then the information was immediately transferred to the comm center, and then there was reports going out through the county, and that's how they were reporting it. But we're waiting to see if there's any new information tomorrow morning on that state call.
Thank you.
The public safety director?
Good evening. Not much more to add to what you have said as the committee and officer in charge, Chambrello. We have received a number of calls. We do respond, investigate, take the information when it's appropriate. I know there was a call the other night where the duty sergeant would contact the Morris County Prosecutor's Office with the information. But I'm hoping after tomorrow's meeting that we'll get a little more guidance that we can share with the community.
How will we get that information tomorrow that comes out if there's an update?
We can do it through our local media or Facebook. I understand that not everybody has Facebook, but we can also we could utilize emails through our alerting system if it's appropriate. Okay.
Thank you all for your responses. That's very good. We're making progress in answering questions. I want to congratulate everyone that commented tonight that you are making progress, and I appreciate that. And I'm sure the other residents do in this town when they're concerned over their safety, and in particular, our development is overly concerned with deciding the size of a car Sunday night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. I appreciate that. Any other member of the public in the courtroom currently? I don't see anyone. So Megan, at home, if you don't mind?
Anybody on Zoom would like to make a public comment, please raise your hand now. I don't see anyone, Mayor.
Megan, thank you. With that, I want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas for those who celebrate that. Happy Hanukkah for those, et cetera, et cetera. God bless everybody. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion
To go to executive with no further action.
adopting resolution 24-311. Who made the motion?
I think Matt did.
Second.
Committeeman Dorsey?
Yes.
Committeeman Verleza?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Lavender?
Yes.
Mayor Pasurgia?
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Mike? 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 Mike?